What do you think of the Jahan Dotson trade? Oh, boy. Marvin's on the phone. Marvin, you're on the Hoffman Show. Marvin.
How's it going, Craig?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Good to hear from you again. Or is it good to see you?
We're on the phone. I don't see you, but that's okay.
Brother Hoffman, I'm going to have to call you out. I hate
You
to
can
do
try.
it, but I'm calling you a fanboy. I don't think you're scrutinizing Adam Peters enough for me. If I think about it, he doesn't deserve my straight allegiance like he's done something for us yet. Now, you say he's done something for other organizations. Great. I'm sorry. I just dropped that by accident. So I just don't see, this great, lineage that he has right now. But I'm going to throw this at you, just so you understand.
Hold on. Marvin, I'm going to explain to you how journalism works. I don't care what he's done for me. I don't care what he's done for other people. I care what he's done. It's not about who you do it for. It's an analysis of the decisions made. I have a lot of admiration for how they built the team in San Francisco. I know that he was a big part of that. He was a part of teams in Denver that won a Super Bowl and went to another. He was a part of the New England scouting staff during the height of their dynasty. So it's not about whether he did it for me or for someone else. It's the fact that he's done it. So yeah, you don't get to poo-poo on his resume because it didn't happen for you. That's not how resumes work.
Yeah, but I'm not going to also sing his praises like all of a sudden he's done this as a history for my squad. I want to see him do it for my squad before I heap all this praise upon him. I can understand saying, okay, I'll give him a chance. But I'm not heaping praise on the guy because he's done those things. He hasn't done them for me yet. But that's beyond the point.
No, it's not beyond the point. It's not beyond the point. Okay, because the point is that I did not heap praise on him. I just evaluated the decision. I said, I think this was smart. This is why. He has a clear vision. I happen to agree with that vision. Based off that vision for the organization, this was a smart move. That's not heaping praise like some sycophant fanboy. That's analysis. I don't get why that gets twisted. If you disagree with the analysis, that's fine. But it's not about who you do it for or whatever. That's not that's how fandom works. I'm not a fan. I'm a journalist.
But it feels like every time he makes one of these major decisions, it seems to be okay with you. And I'm just saying that I'm scrutinizing this to the 10th. I'm not stealing this trade to the Eagles at all. This is a quality player. He's not some real scrub or anything. This is a quality young man who got drafted in the first round 2 years ago, and now we're going to trade him inside the division with his arrogance, thinking that won't blow up in his face. This is a playmaker he's trading to him. I mean, a guy who scores touchdowns, and he's trading them inside the division for basically just swapping a third and a fifth. He needs to tax them heavies for trading inside the division. I'm like, well, if this is the trade he's going to make, he wants to get rid of Dotson. I'm not mad at him because Dotson might not fit.
So Marvin, let's play this out. Let's play this out. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun here on the radio. I'm gonna play Howie Roseman. You play Adam Peters.
All right.
You want to trade Jahan Dotson to me, but you want to get a better deal. Go.
Okay, so I see you guys as a really good team this year, and you're probably going to be in the upper half of the draft. So a second makes more sense than a third.
I'm not doing a second.
You're not doing a second? Then the third, but I'm not trading the fifth because that's the actual
fifth or no deal.
Value of a first-round pick.
Fifth or no deal.
The actual value of a first-round pick 2 years ago.
That's your value, not mine.
Deal,
I get to say no. Fifth or no deal.
Okay, but fine. I don't have to trade the young man either. See, the whole point is I need to make sure I get value for my team. He seems like he's just dumping this guy. A third for a fifth?
A third isn't dumping it.
What?
A third round pick. Look, Marvin, I will give you this. NFL trades have never made sense to me. So there is just we're floating in the ether part of this, and I'm like, you know what? Marvin might have a point because the NFL trades, they've always felt a little unbalanced. But a lot of it has to come down with contract control. He's got 2 years left, not 4. The player that they're going to get next year, at the time when Jahan Dotson will have 1 year left, will have 4 years of control at an even cheaper number than Dotson. And I would bet that Adam Peters thinks he can find a receiver in the third round next year that is every bit as good as Jahan Dotson. Because, well, I agree with you. Jahan Dotson has had a knack for getting in the end zone, being a playmaker, which is why you get a third, not like a fifth or a sixth for him. And, like, he has missed time. He was top 10 in the league in drop percentage last year. And he does, like, the tape doesn't lie, and neither does the practices. He doesn't play with the urgency. And by the way, here's the other part. I'm actually glad that we kind of gone through this, Marvin, because here's a part that I haven't said yet that I should have. They have been coaching him since the spring. And they have been trying clearly to get something out of him, whether it's the way he runs his routes, a physicality in the blocking game, a technique, whatever it is. The way that they have coached him to try to get something more out of him so that they would like him and keep him, which was obviously what they wanted to do when they got here. No one wants to trade a former first-round pick. He hasn't done it. And we can sparse blame between the two sides, but it's very clear they can't get through to him. And at that point, what's the point in continuing to try if you can get value in return?
I actually believe in everything you said up to the point where getting value for what he's worth. I'm just saying that
what you think of what he's worth is different than what the league does. Because I guarantee you Adam Peters didn't take an inferior deal. He's not an idiot.
Well, it feels inferior when you trade inside the division. So it
doesn't matter.
This is the second time he's done that. Yeah, it really does. It really does. When you got to play a team and you know that the easiest way of making the playoffs, and I'm not saying to make it the playoffs this year, but I'm just saying the easy way to make it the playoffs is being really dominant or really good inside your division. Because you got 6 of those games every year.
When do you think the Commanders are making the playoffs?
What?
What year do you think the Commanders are making the playoffs? How many years from now? You think they're making it this year?
I would love to think. Not with that offensive line. I told you about Brandon Coleman the last time I talked to you.
Yeah, that was an adventure of a call. That one got famous on YouTube.
Yeah,
it was great.
You're probably right now, too. You're probably like, oh, I wish we'd have got Sumataya, but that's all right.
I'm not, and he's going to start week 1. The point is, all right, that's Marvin. Thanks for your call as always. You're entertaining even if you're constantly wrong. Marvin is wrong on a comical level that I genuinely enjoy. So I hope people enjoy the back and forth. Here's the thing, though. Anthony, I'll ask you the question since Marvin didn't want to answer it. When do you think the Commanders are realistically going to make the playoffs?
I would say, I mean, it's different for the NFL. I think if he comes in,
are you pulling a Marvin? Answer the question.
All right, maybe at least a year or two.
Right.
At least a year or two.
Right.
I don't think
how many years does Jahan Dotson have left on his contract?
2. Oh, no. Technically.
Yeah, 2. This year 2. And next year.
Yeah.
So let's say you make the playoffs next year. Okay, well, then you got through Jahan Dotson and the Eagles, or you see him there, and let's go party. And if it takes 3 years, like the third year from now, it's worked out and they've now spent a bunch of money on Jahan Dotson, or he's not even on the Eagles anymore. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter trading the division unless you are currently a division favorite and you are trading with the other division favorite, in which case you're probably not trading a good player. Trading in the division doesn't matter if you're on separate timelines. Literally, they don't intersect. The need to go through the Eagles realistically for this roster will not intersect with the time that Jahan Dotson is likely on the Eagles. Stop doing that. It's math. Although I should be careful about telling people it's math because I'm bad at math. That is a show problem, Anthony.
Yeah.
Well, there's that. All right. Take more of your calls next. 301-230-0980. Your calls on the Jahan Dotson trade on the Team 980.
Hey, this is DA, and you're listening to The Hoffman Show on the Team 980 and the Odyssey app.